What up, guys? Your boy Just King Zeri. Welcome back to Just King Zeri podcast. And yeah, man, on this video, I'm gonna be talking about how South Africa is being destroyed by public servants. Well, for y'all who don't know, public servants are people who work for the government. So yeah, man, that's what we're gonna be talking about in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the platform so that the platform can grow, so that we can have more numbers, so that you don't miss out on my videos when I drop. When I drop, you get my videos on your homepage. Yeah, man, so subscribe so we can even get a bigger reach. We're about to reach 1K subscribers, so long time coming, but definitely we're almost there. And let's pass it, and let's get over it, and get more and more, so that we can expand more on this content. Because your subscription and whatever you're watching these videos make us to watch our videos. You make us to want to produce even more videos and become more creative with this content. So let's get straight into it, man. Public servants, government workers have destroyed the public sector. They've destroyed public companies. We usually talk about the politicians and the corruption and all of that. We know that. I've said it on another video as well. But right now I'm going to talk about the civil servants, the workers, the people who had the opportunity to kind of fight back. I know it's dangerous to fight back the corruption and all of that, because you can get unalive, you can get killed, you can get assassinated. But I think, there's a certain thing that, power that a person who's there within the companies, the public companies, the parastatals, has, or a certain level of access, that you can have in order to create something, in order to force people to think a certain way, or to effect a certain level. Even though there's corruption inside, but there's you don't have to be part of the, you don't have to be part of the disease. You don't have to be part of the disease. You don't have to be part of the disease. You can be part of the cure, even if you're just bringing a little bit. Just make sure that by your time, when your time is over, you are able to say that you at least you slow down the rot. And people are not doing that, man. We've seen in the public companies now, bribery is the way of life. When you want a job, you need to bribe. They call it cold drink. And that culture is slowly but surely destroying South Africa. We're turning into a country that, what is a bribe? You are able to sell out, a position that you could have hired someone who could have brought proper skills and proper work ethic, and you sell out those type of things, and to a point where now it's like you are bringing people who don't bring any value, and you are bringing people who are corrupt. If someone can pay bribes and all of that, it means that they are corrupt, and then they can do more corruption as time goes. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Public servants are destroying the country, because just imagine if our parastatals were still standing as they were, during the apartheid days. I don't like to praise up any apartheid days. I don't think there was anything good about apartheid. But one thing I can say that was good. Okay, I don't know if I can say it's good, but one thing that I can say was functional was the public companies. They were able to produce things and have our own industries and our own things that we do for ourselves, even though we can be sanctioned and whatever. Do you understand? So, but the problem with apartheid, the reason why I say nothing was good, is because those things, even though they were in this country, they were not working for everybody. They were working for those people and the whites, and that's the legacy of apartheid, and that's why, even though there's so many innovations and so many things that were, even if there were so many things that were done in that time, you can't get over the fact that those things were, other people were being oppressed during those days, you were in a country that was beautiful, but you literally were living like an animal, like a creature, living in a kraal, you know what I'm saying? At 5 o'clock you had to be in your kraal, in the villages and whatever. shouldn't be there, or else you're getting beat up. So those are the blunders of apartheid. But to say that we could have took the good innovations then and made them better in our time, meaning that they are as functional or they are as efficient and as creative as they were, but they are inclusive to all. You know what I'm saying? And that would have made a very, very powerful country. Would have made a very, very beautiful, powerful country that is working and functional. But if you look at it now, they've corrupted everything. They've stolen all the monies. They've stolen the companies to the ground. They've stolen all the companies to the ground. And it's a corrupt mafia. You see they're doing it in the construction mafia. They're doing it in the water mafia now. Everything is becoming mafia. It's just gangsterism and stealing and theft and then looting. You know what I'm saying? So, and this looting is being done by public servants, because public servants have access to money. They have access to the company's money, to the treasury, to everything, to the budgets, to everything. They have access to everything. So they receive the bulk of the money and then they become not trustworthy with that money. And that's how this thing happens. That's how all this stuff starts to happen. So I don't know if the camera is cool. Let me just put it like this. I think it'll be better. So they play with the governmental monies and they steal them, and the crazy thing is, you wonder, where do they take all these monies? Where do they take all this money? Say, well, what can you do with such money? How can you do 2 billion rand? The likes of Maumera, what can you do to 2 billion that you steal from hospital, Tembisa hospital and whatever? What do you do with it? Buying Lamborghini Urus, is it called Urus or Urus? I don't know. That's it. 4 Lamborghinis, same color. Come on, man. Come on, let's be serious, guys. Let's be serious. In a country where a lot of people are in poverty and whatever, for you it's just Aston Martin music. Aston Martin music. That's it. You want to flash on you want. And so that's what it is. People can't just be corrupt for the sake of being corrupt. You can't just be corrupt and whatever. When you're in a position where you can actually create change, you can actually create a change. You can actually make things work. Actually make things move. To actually make this country, beautiful country, even better. To build things that will last for generations. 100-year-old infrastructure. That's what happens when you have people who don't think, people who are not proper philosophers, people who are not proper scholars, good people. When you don't have good people, because good people read, learn, understand. They're students, they're students. They want to learn the beauty. They want to learn the beauty of creation, the beauty of how infrastructures, mega structures were built, what these people went through to get there, how Chinese turn things around, how Singapore, they turn things around, you know what I'm saying? That's what good people do. But evil people, clueless people, corruption comes with lack of knowledge, most of the time. Comes with someone who is corrupt. Someone who's corrupt cannot sit down and learn. So people who are corrupt even pay people to go and write tests for them in the university. They pay people to write for them assignments. They are clueless. They pay people to write assignments for them. They pay people to. They do nothing. They don't even show up for the test. They pay someone to just go and write for them. So that's the difference. They use people, they steal people's ideas, they run with it. They take someone's idea, they run with it. They take someone's idea, they run with it. Then they get to wherever they're going. But what happens when now they run out of people to steal from? Are you going to be a master thief forever? You understand? So eventually true colors come out. You start to see this person is actually clueless. So that is how these people are destroying the country. They are destroying people who are very good at whatever it is that they do. You know, they steal ideas from people, they steal everything, and then they destroy the morale of the idea people, the people who are, those people who come up with the ideas were supposed to be the ones being given the opportunity to contribute to society and come up with more ideas. Those people are supposed to be helped, collaborate with them, and then just put execution to the idea, and then you have a beautiful team that works and builds and creates incredible things that last forever and ever. 100 years, 200 years, way past our generation. It's a stable infrastructures that are being built, proper works, proper policies and whatever, well thought of by students of the game, rather than thieves who don't study, who don't read any book, who don't watch anything inspirational. All they do is think about how they're going to make money, how they're going to knock someone, how they're going to steal people's ideas, how they're going to take a shortcut. You understand? So that's what it is, you know. So people need to, you know, figure this. We need to look at this thing. We need to put this thing on the spotlight. Like right now, Home Affairs. If you can look at the Home Affairs, what happened there? You have civil servants stealing millions and millions and millions, bringing in foreigners, you know, giving foreigners free, you know, visas, legal visas, you know. Even though in the law, you know, they corrupt the system, they rig the system. They're giving people visas that are not legal, you know, and they're taking money, and they're getting a salary, they're getting bonuses. You understand what it is? And then you see someone is rich or whatever, but they're rich because of theft. They're thieves. They're professional thieves. You know, so those type of people are destroying the country. They are destroying South Africa. They are making South Africa to be what it is today. And if you look at it, they're collapsing every, you know, parastatal. They've already collapsed the parastatals. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy what these people are doing, man. These monies that are being stolen, whatever, could have been used to build legacy. You could have built legacy, man. Some of you guys could be, you know, remembered forever in time. You know, infrastructures could be named after you because you made it happen. Do you understand? Roads could be named after you because of the development that you brought to the country, long lasting. But now you steal all this money. What are you gonna do? You can't chow all that money. There's only so much money you can chow, man. There's only so much money you can eat, man. You can only so much. You can't eat all the money. There's only so much you can do. You can buy, you don't have 10 houses, you only stay in one house. Isn't that crazy? Then maybe when you go to Cape Town, then how many times in a year do you go there? Do you understand? So it's just greed. It's just greed on another level. It's just greed on another level. You know, so we really have to look into ourselves and figure out what the hell's happening. Are black people, are you going to be? Is this our legacy? What can we really point at and say that we have achieved? Which infrastructure? Do you understand? I won't lie, the ANC has worked. There's many things that have been done, many 2010 World Cup and all those things, the stadium revamps and whatever. Very beautiful, we can point at that. But there needs to be more, man. There needs to be more. There needs to be more, not just grand scale, things like that, but development. You know, look at the Eastern Cape. There needs to be development there. Look at different places. Look at Northwest, you know, the roads. They need to be developed. They need to be improved. You know, there's so many places in South Africa where a lot can be done. You know, universities to be built. You could build a university, and because of your ability, the fact that you saw through the project of the building of a university, that university can be named after you. You understand? So people don't understand this type of things. They don't understand that this life is more than just there's only so much you can do with money, but legacy is forever. Your children, benefit from your legacy, your brand, your name. Like the children of Mandela, they will forever benefit from that, from being the children, grandchildren of Mandela. There's a certain nobility, there's a certain thing and opportunities that they can be able to access. You know, there's so much you can do just by being a good person, a good brand, a good somebody that changes something and inspires people. Even till this day, we've not even forgotten Tupac Shakur because of what he stood for, the mental library that he has built in people's brains. They cannot forget him. People cannot forget Martin Luther King, who died so many years ago. His children continue to benefit from that. You understand? I'm sure when movies are made about him, whatever, they benefit from that. They're getting royalties or whatever it is, they get paid, from whatever. They too can there's so many opportunities. If they're saying they're gonna go into business, they're the grandchildren of this guy and whatever. It's not nepotism, but it's just a brand value to say, wow. I said nepotism, not really, but I'm saying like favoritism being, no, it's not that. It's just, okay, these are the children of that great man. Let's see what they can do. The companies, whatever, they want to be aligned to that. They want to hear from them. So it is what it is, man. Stop destroying South Africa. Stop being greedy. Anyways, your boy Just King Zeddy signing out.